I used to believe that if you had one loyal friend and one loyal partner, you had everything you needed in life. My best friend, Daniel, was like a brother to me. We grew up together, shared secrets, dreamed big, failed together, and always had each other's backs. My wife, Emma, was the person I believed destiny had chosen for me. Warm, kind, soft-spoken. Or at least she appeared that way. Together, these two people formed the center of my world. But I didn't know. They were also the ones who would break it. The strange thing is, betrayal always begins with silence. Not shouting. Not obvious signs. Just silence. Daniel started texting her more often. Joking around, he called it. She laughed a little too hard at his jokes. And slowly, the dynamic between us shifted. I didn't want to admit it. I told myself I was overthinking. But sometimes, your gut knows the truth long before your heart is ready to accept it. One night we were all hanging out in our living room. They were talking, leaning in a little too close, whispering about some inside joke that apparently I wasn't part of. When I walked into the kitchen, their conversation suddenly died. The room grew quiet. So quiet it felt like a warning. But I forced a smile, forced a laugh, forced myself to ignore the storm that was forming. Daniel began giving Emma relationship advice. About me. He would say things like, "Sometimes he works too hard." Or, "You should tell him to loosen up." Since when did my best friend become the translator for my marriage? Why did she suddenly need him to understand me? It wasn't normal. But I swallowed it again. Because trusting people is always easier than facing the truth. Emma started becoming colder with me. Shorter replies. Less affection. Less interest. But strangely, she always smiled when Daniel texted. Her phone lit up. And her eyes followed. Love doesn't die all at once. It fades. Quietly, painfully. And right in front of you. One day she told me she needed space. She said she was stressed and wanted time alone. So she left for the evening. But when I called Daniel just to hang out, he told me he was busy with family. Later that night, I saw on social media that he was nowhere near his family. Something was off. The puzzle pieces didn't fit. And sometimes, when things don't add up, it's because someone is lying. I wasn't the type to snoop. But when someone you love suddenly hides everything, you start questioning your own sanity. Emma fell asleep on the couch. Her phone buzzed. It was Daniel. A message preview popped up. "I miss you too." My chest felt tight. My hands went cold. Nothing prepares you for seeing your best friend's name and a message like that on your wife's phone. I tried opening her phone. New password. A password she never used before. This was no misunderstanding. No joke. No innocent mistake. This was betrayal. That was carefully protected. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat in the dark, staring at a wall, trying not to fall apart. The next morning, I confronted her. She denied everything. She said Daniel was only comforting her. Comforting her about what? She had everything. Except honesty. Her voice cracked. Not from guilt. But from fear of being caught.
If this story hits you, you can support the channel with a quick hype.
The truth came from a place I didn't expect. Daniel's girlfriend texted me. She said she found messages between Daniel and Emma. Long threads. Photos. Plans they made together. Behind our backs. She sent screenshots. I will never forget how my hands shook as I scrolled through those messages. There is no pain like being stabbed by two people you trusted the most. Not just my wife, but my best friend. The person I grew up with. The person who promised he'd always have my back. He had my back. Just not in the way I ever imagined. I confronted Daniel in person. He couldn't look at me. He stuttered. He lied. He broke down. I didn't yell. I didn't hit him. I just stood there, feeling like a ghost in my own life. Sometimes silence hurts more than anger. When I confronted Emma again, she cried, screamed, begged, tried to blame me for not loving her enough. People who betray you always rewrite the story to make themselves the victim. I told her the marriage was over. There was no coming back. No healing. When the wound is still bleeding lies. She tried holding my hand. But when trust is dead, touch feels empty. Packing your life after betrayal feels like burying a part of yourself. Every photo, every gift, every memory becomes poisoned. But what hurts the most is knowing the person you loved never existed the way you thought. It was quiet. Too quiet. A kind of silence that presses against your chest. I didn't sleep. I just sat there, trying to understand how everything shattered so fast. But pain eventually becomes strength. I started rebuilding. Slowly. Quietly. One day at a time. The more distance I created, the more I realized I hadn't lost love. I had escaped a lie. Betrayal changes people. It destroys the weak. But it forges the strong. And I wasn't going to let their actions define the rest of my life. I cut off Daniel. I divorced Emma. And for the first time, I felt free. Painful. But free. If you're listening to this because someone betrayed you too, remember this. You didn't lose someone good. You lost someone who never deserved your loyalty. Subscribe for tomorrow's story. You're not alone.
If you've ever felt this kind of pain, don't walk through it alone. Hit subscribe and stay with us. More real stories are coming.